Bonjour and welcome to French 1 with Mr. McCoy. This is lesson 34 dedicated to school supplies and indefinite articles. Now our learning objectives for this lesson are for you at the end of the lesson to be able to identify ordinary school supplies and also talk about which ones you have and which ones you don't. Okay, it's going to involve a bit of a grammar lesson. We're talking about the use of indefinite articles in positive or affirmative and negative statements. Okay, so first let's present and identify a short list of words I'd like you to learn. Okay, and the good news is some of these you actually already know. And let me remind you at the beginning that you know already how to identify an object. For example, if somebody asks, qu'est-ce que c'est? Qu'est-ce que c'est? Okay, you know the general structure for how to identify an object. Okay, for a masculine noun, in the singular, you have c'est un such and such. For example, c'est un stylo. C'est un stylo. Okay. For feminine noun, you have c'est une such and such. Okay. For example, c'est une montre or c'est une cravate. Okay. And you learned in lesson 32 recently that for a noun in the plural, you don't use c'est un or c'est une, but ce sont des such and such. Okay. For example, ce sont des feuilles de papier. Ce sont des feuilles de papier. Okay? Identify plural noun. Okay? Again, you use that des, the plural form of the indefinite article, for nouns of either gender, masculine or feminine. Okay? So, let's see what we have. And repeat out loud after me. Okay? On y va. C'est un cahier. C'est une calculatrice. C'est un classeur. C'est un crayon. C'est une feuille de papier. C'est une gomme. C'est un livre. C'est une règle. C'est un sac à dos. C'est un stylo. C'est un taille-crayon. C'est une trousse. Couple nouns in the plural. Ce sont des livres. Ce sont des crayons. Ce sont des classeurs. Ce sont des feuilles de papier, etc. Okay? Let me just encourage you to drop a list of these words in the singular, so you can be sure to memorize the gender, that is, memorize un or une, along with the name of the vocabulary word, and spend some time repeating those out loud. Okay? So, now for just a little bit of grammar. Okay? Now, it turns out that when we're using indefinite articles, un, une, or des, they're a little bit trickier to use in the definite articles that we learned a little while ago. Le, la, l'apostrophe, and les. Okay, they're a little bit trickier. Okay, it turns out that when we learn to identify objects, we're actually dealing with an exception to the rule. Okay, let's see what that means. Okay, so again, we're learning to state what something is or say what it's not. For example, so c'est un cahier. C'est un cahier. Ce n'est pas un livre. Okay, ce n'est pas un livre. Okay. If I have, for example, some pencils, ce sont des crayons. Ce sont des crayons. Ce ne sont pas des stylos. Okay. Ce sont des crayons. Ce ne sont pas des stylos. These are crayons. These are not pens. Okay. Again, this is what we have here. We have basically an affirmative and a negative statement. The same form of the indefinite article as possible. That's actually the exception to the rule. Okay. Now here is the rule. Okay. Make sure you jot this down. The rule is that we don't, in French, we don't write or say un, une, or des. Okay. Basic forms of the indefinite article. Un, masculine singular. Une, feminine singular. Des, plural. After ne pas. Okay? obviously with a verb in the middle, okay? Instead, again, the rule is instead you write de, okay? Un, une, or des has to become de, okay? Make sure to pronounce that right. Otherwise, you might try to say this, but don't pronounce that, okay? Don't write or say un, une, or des. It has to be replaced with de, okay? De. So, a couple examples, okay? For example, if you have say I have a notebook, I don't have a book, okay? That'll be j'ai un cahier, mais je n'ai pas de livre, okay? J'ai un cahier, mais je n'ai pas de livre. For example, if I have a pencil, but I don't have a pen, j'ai un crayon, mais je n'ai pas de stylo. J'ai un crayon, mais je n'ai pas de stylo. Okay? So notice also we have a negative verb, talking about what we don't have, form of the verb avoir. It's not a form of être, okay? It's a form of avoir. Don't write un, I don't have a pen. It's not un stylo, but de stylo, okay? And in normal speech, we actually pronounce this together, pad, okay? J'ai un crayon, mais je n'ai pas de stylo, okay? And again, the exception to the rule is if you have a form of the verb être, okay? That's negated. Then you can say un, une, or des after that, okay? But all the verbs, for example, verb for to have, to eat, to order, to want, okay? All these other verbs besides être, if you negate them, you can't put un, une, or des. They have to be followed by de, okay? So, let's see if you can kind of apply that logic, okay? Comment dit-on, how does one say in French? Comment dit-on, I don't have a ruler. I don't have a ruler. Okay? On dit, je n'ai pas de règles. Okay? Eh bien, je n'ai pas de règles. Je n'ai pas de règles. Okay? I don't have an eraser. Je n'ai pas de gomme. Je n'ai pas de gomme. I have some sheets of paper. J'ai des feuilles de papier. J'ai des feuilles de papier. Okay. How do we say, I have some pencil sharpeners? It's a positive or affirmative sentence. J'ai des tailles crayons. J'ai des tailles crayons. But I don't have a pencil case. Je n'ai pas de trousse. Je n'ai pas de trousse. Je n'ai pas de trousse. I don't have any notebooks. Je n'ai pas de cahier. Je n'ai pas de cahier. Okay? Alright. So go back over the list. We got about a dozen vocabulary words for you to master. Okay? You can handle it. Practice with this in class. Bon courage. Merci. Et au revoir.